Okay, welcome back students for the talent and knowledge management classes. Uh, in the last class, we have discussed about the how to leverage the talent, what is talent leverage and how to leverage the talent, what are the different ways we can adopt to leverage the talent so that the talent is we can use the talent which we have recruited in our organization in a maximum level. Okay. So today we are going to talk about another bit of your module, that is value chain analysis. Okay. So what is this value chain analysis is about? Value chain analysis is you might have heard this in the marketing or material management subject, how to manage the material or how to conduct the activities of marketing. In that we might have heard the value chain analysis like in distribution and all. Okay, so it is not like only restricted to marketing or material management. Value chain also is applicable to human resource management also. Okay, so value chain refers to the chain of activities. Like chain of activities means one activity is leading another activity. Okay, so that is the chain we call, right? So it is activities within the firms. Okay, at the business unit level. It is not like a minor level we are talking about, like operation level or not. It is completely a business unit level. The value chain is referred always. Okay. So what is value chain analysis is referred to? So when we are saying value chain refers to a chain of activities. So for example, in marketing, if you from production to for product planning to until it reaches the customer and customer getting satisfied with that product. Okay, that is the chain of reaction which includes. Okay, in HR from recruitment to you're getting the performance from that candidate. So this is how the chain of activities I'm talking about. Okay, so it is from point A to point Z, like first point to last point. That is the activities, chain of activities. Then what is the analysis refers to? So analysis refers to the it is a organizations organizations competitive advantage. Okay, so by this activities, chain of activities, how we are reaching the, always this is very important. Always we are talking about competitive advantage, competitive strength, because this is what make your company different from the other organization, your organization different from the other organization, right? So a value chain analysis is nothing but the activities which we are conducting, which are happening in a chain of reaction. So that chain, those activities, how it will contribute, how we can make that to contribute to make our organization a competitive advantage organization. Okay, so this is what we are studying today. Okay, so value chain analysis for effective talent management. Now we have seen what is value chain analysis. So why we have to do this value chain analysis in the talent management? Why we have to study this and what is the effect? How to conduct it effectively? Okay, so I have given here two things. That is maximize the value impact of your talent. Okay, so how we in the last class we were discussing about leveraging the talent. So we have to maximize the value of the impact of talent which is in the organization. Okay, so what is how will maximize this? What is the chain of activity, like recruiting, hiring them, selecting, retaining them, okay, then developing them. Remember, these are the elements of talent management, correct? Attracting, developing and retaining, correct? So these are the activities we are in the talent management we are going to have already discussed. So this is the logistical activities we call, because after recruitment, selection, developing, retaining, so these are the chain of activities. So for this we have to make this as a competitive advantage, right? What we can say is we can in the next point we have given another point to maintain a competitive advantage. So this is the main intention of doing value chain analysis to maintain the competitive advantage in an organization. Okay, especially when we have a shortage of our resources, or when a key person is with the organization, which we are called as a critical component of the organization in talent management. During that time, how we can make a value chain by doing value chain analysis, how we can keep our competitive advantage active, which is important. Okay, so going forward, why we do this? The purpose of analyzing the value chain is talent management process is to identify each business activity which contributes to overall competitive strategy. Means here we are not individually doing the analysis. When we are doing value chain analysis, means we are doing from point A to point Z, means for starting point to ending point, whichever the activities are there, all those activities we are analyzing, and we are making sure that whichever the contribution activity is there, by whichever activity it is possible, we can achieve the competitive competitive advantage. Okay, so the main thing is here cost saving, very important thing. Okay, this is the main intention by value chain analysis is done, that is cost saving. Okay, so an organization may create cost advantage through value chain analysis by reducing cost individual activities through value chain, or by recruiting the value chain. Okay, just a second. So why organization it has to create the cost advantage, right? It has to create the cost advantage through value chain analysis. How to create the what is cost advantage? Reducing the cost. Yeah, right, given. Okay, reducing the cost of individual activity. Okay, so if you have I'm not talking about here only recruitment or hiring or retaining. It's not like overall thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about individual activity here. So by analyzing the individual activity, how can we reduce the cost of the activities in the value chain? Okay, that is what we can create a cost advantage. Cost advantage is nothing but in the chain of activities, how we can reduce the cost of by analyzing individual activities. Okay, it is not like we are analyzing a total chain of activity and we are coming in conclusion that we can reduce the cost. It is not like that. We have to, like how we do in a cost accounting, that every department, okay, each process, each product, each unit will be analyzed, right, where we can minimize the cost. Similarly, here also in the chain of activities in the talent management or in human resource management, how we can individually reduce the cost of any given activity. Okay, so we have to analyze that. That is why we are doing a value chain analysis in a talent management. So what are the steps in the talent management to make the value chain analysis? The steps are the first, we have to identify or clarify our overall competitive strategy. Okay, next activity analysis. Third, value chain analysis. Fourth, planning. Okay, first we have to identify or clarify overall competitive strategy. Second, we have to do the activity analysis. Third, we have to do the value analysis. Fourth, we have to do the planning. So what I'm talking about, okay, what is it these steps are about? So first step, what I'm saying here is identifying or clarifying your overall competitive strategy. Means it starts with the mission and vision of the company. Okay, so first you have to clarify what is the overall competitive advantage, competitive strategy, that overall vision of your company, overall vision of your company, why your company started, what is the dream of your company, what is the long-term objective, what is the strategical objective of your company. You have to clarify faster. Okay, this may mean that revisiting your vision or mission, or making some short-term and long-term goal, modifying that, and ensuring that each department in the organization are working towards your vision and mission. Okay, first you have to clarify that. Second one is activity analysis. Okay, so second one is activity analysis. So activity analysis means each activity undertaken in the talent management process, each activity, when I'm talking about activity in any organization about talent management, which includes recruiting, hiring, retaining, right, growing, developing, or else. So these are the each activities, right? So each activity undertaken in the talent management process, correct? This can be conducted by brainstorming session or business process re-engineering, or by held discussion for responsible, who is discussion with the people who is responsible to carry out this recruitment, hiring, and retaining. So with them, we're doing some brainstorming activities. We can analyze the activities, like in what is happening in recruitment, how to reduce the cost in recruitment, or in development, or in retaining. So how to which activity we have to discuss with the people who are responsible to do with that. Okay, by doing the analysis of each activity. Okay, third one is value analysis. So again, for here also, for each activity we have to assess the value that activity brings to the process. Okay, so we have to evaluate the what are the results, okay, of changes to the process when we are revisiting and identifying the each activity. After identifying and revisiting the activity, and if any suggestions or changes were suggested by any responsible person of any activity, so what could be the pros and cons of that changes which is suggested by any person in any activity? Okay, so here in the second step we are identifying each activity, and after identifying each activity, what we are doing by individual activity you are looking at, and we are doing that, we are discussing or we are brainstorming with the people who is responsible to do it. If they have given any suggestions or a change, so that change we have to think about what kind of value it will add to the process, to that particular activity. What would be the pros and cons? What is the advantages and disadvantages of the changes in the particular activity we have to think about. Okay, that is what the third step is talking about. The fourth step is planning. So after doing these three stages, we cross to the final stage, that is planning. So planning is designing and implementation of a strategic plan, which would be okay. Strategic planning is designing and implementing a strategic plan to reduce the again cost. Okay, so whichever the activities we have seen the changes here, and we have made suggested changes. What are the advantages, pros and cons of that activity changes we have decided, right? So after that we have to do the planning activity. Okay, next go to the one example where we can see these four stages, how it could be implemented in any organization. Okay, it is an example about the human resource department and recruitment or talent management value chain analysis, how these four steps like identifying competitive strategy, activity analysis, value chain analysis, and planning, how this can be analyzed, how these stages will be carried out by taking an example. Okay, so these steps can be first step, what it says, attracting a right fit to employees. Okay, right person at the right time, what we say, like how talent management is defined, how attracting is defined. So what we have to do, we have to take a right fit employees who will deliver the competitive strategy. Okay, we have to in the recruitment process, what we have to do. Let us see that all in the coming example. Next one is an organization will attract the right fit employees. Employees, why it attracts, which is relative to recruiting activity. correct? So it is a first element of talent management, that is attraction by recruiting. Okay. Next one is activity analysis. In the first step, you can apply these steps in talent management. First step is to ensure that the recruitment process supports the activity, correct? This may mean that attracting the people, right? Attracting the people who can give you the who can become a competitive advantage to your organization, and who can prove their skills, correct? So how the organization will attract the right fit employee, which is a recruitment activity, right? I have given here recruitment activity. How would an organization will attract that? By giving some advertisement or doing some recruitment efforts, right? Like advertisements or consultation firms. By visiting these things, we can attract the our potential candidate or a potential talent, we can say. Okay. In this, have given here activity analysis. So activity analysis means we have to, I was saying, each activity in a value chain. Okay, that is from point A to point Z. Every activity should be considered. Like here, say for example, if you are selecting for a marketing head, so you should not only consider the marketing department, also you have to consider the operation department and communication department. Every department, in fact, in the organization. So HR department is directly involved in recruitment and selection, and other department which are required also, it is marketing, operation and communication. So it is an overall activity. Okay, so the chain should not break anywhere. Okay, so that's why what we have given with all departments, we have to discuss. Okay, the activity should be analyzed. How the activity should be analyzed? Say for example, I'm given an example in this coming slide. So if you want an recruit a person for your for a sales department or a sales head, a key person, so how you design the valuation? I'm talking about your individual activities. Now let us see the individual activities, how it will affect, how you given ads to attract the your potential talent. Okay, first you design the ad, right? So marketing identifies the here we have three departments I have given: marketing, operation and communication, right? Marketing, operation and communication. How this department will be involved, let us see. Okay, first what happens, we have to recruit a person, we have to give an ad, right? We have to give an advertisement. So to give an advertisement, we see that advertisement, it is a marketing department task. Always they are into advertisement, like how product and they advertise for their products and everything. So we will assign the task to marketing department, even though it is a task of HR department to do the recruitment. So what we do, we assign it to the marketing department, because we are we want to recruit a person to the marketing department, right, as a sales head. So here marketing department has to involve, okay, because the recruitment which we are doing is for marketing department. And also when we want to design the ad, the marketing people are the right people to design any kind of ad, because they are the experienced people who design the ad for your products also or a service also. So what marketing will do, it identifies the what kind of pictures we have to put in your advertisement pamphlet, or in your if you're giving a TV advertisement, what kind of art we have to put. Okay, anything which is related to visibly, how we have to make it as attractive. Okay, for this they have to take first, if you have given that so and so position, you have to recruit. Say the position is sales manager, a sales head, so you have to recruit that person. No, it is not like we are completely giving them permission to create an advertisement. So first what they will do, marketing department also, after creating pictures any artwork and all, what they'll do is they'll seek the input from the hiring manager from the operation department. Okay, so three departments you have to remember in this example. First one is marketing. HR is directly involved. So HR department, marketing department, operational department, and communication department. I'm going to talk about 4 departments. In that, prominently I'll be talking 3 departments. HR department is indeed considered as it is involved. Okay, so marketing department is designing the ad for recruitment of a sales head, but it is taking the all creative thing like identifying the art, what kind of advertisement we have to give. But it is not given them a complete freedom that they can create an ad and they carry on with the ad. So what they have to do when they create the pictures and any artwork, they have to seek the permission or input from a hiring manager within the operation department. So operation department means a sales department. Okay, in the marketing department, operation department would be a sales department, right? So we are hiring for a sales head. So from the sales department, what we have to do, we have to take the inputs, what kind of skills, what kind of ability, what kind of talent is required in that particular post. We have to seek the input from that. Then only we can design, right? We have to put that skills or a requirement in our advertisement. Next, they have to take the input from the general manager of operational department. Okay, so first they have to take the permission from the person who is the responsible for the operations and the general manager of that operations, to head of the department and the person who is responsible to carry out that operation. From the both he has to seek the input, because he has to design, means he has to understand the requirement which is coming from the it should be come from operations, like sales head. For the sales head, what are the requirements should be given by the sales operation department and the general manager of that department. Okay, next one is marketing and communication. Now these 2 departments, now for only one department, that is marketing department, has done this work. They started a creative work about the ad. Now 2 department, by seeking the input from 2 people, one is operational people, another one is operational hiring responsibility person, and operational department's general manager, correct? So they have seek the input from these 2. Now the second one is 2 department now, marketing and communication. They have collaborated in second step. So they have collaborated to identify what kind of verbiage, means what kind of sentences to be used, keywords, okay, to be used in the advertisement. Okay, communication department is good in doing this kind of things. So that's why what will marketing department will do, to create an ad, marketing department will collaborate with the communication department to make that to take the input from the communication department, that what kind of sentences or words we have to put in that advertisement. Okay, next, marketing and communication collaboratively determine the layout of the ad. So these 2 people now together collaboratively, what they'll do, they will come with an layout of the ad. Okay, what kind of verbiage we have to put in, what is the art, creative art we have to put, what are the picture, so what is the how the company logo has to be put. All those things will be decided with the marketing and communication department. So what they will do after doing this, they'll take the approval from marketing director and communication director. So the people who are working here to create the ad, so this person will take the permission from, once the ad is ready, they will take from the permission from the marketing department head, and this person will take permission from the communication department head, so that they can approve that the layout of the ad. Okay, First, marketing department in what they will do, they will come up with the creative ideas. Then they will go to communication department. The communication department will collaboratively what they will do. They will decide about the what kind of sentences, words we have to use in that advertisement. And both of them, after deciding the layout, what they will do in creating the layout of advertisement, they will take the approval from the heads of this those respective departments. Okay. Next, we will see choosing the appropriate print media. First step was designing the ad. Okay, the layout is now approved by the marketing head and also communication head. Now what we'll do? Next, we'll choosing an appropriate print media. Once the layout is ready, the advertisement is ready, everything is ready. Now what they have to do, they have to choose the appropriate print media, whether that advertisement should go to which kind of magazine, which newspaper, which publication. We have to send that ad. So for this, they have to again take the permission from all the heads of the department. Okay, so marketing head, communication head, operations head, human resource head. So from these people, they have to take the permission. Once the permission is approved, they have to choose between these many options. I have given only 3 options here. There could be many options. Okay. If just I am considering as a print media only, I'm not considering radio, television, and other internet or other media. Just to make it simple, I have given only 3 medias, print media, where the 3 options I have given. Okay, so what they have to choose between 3, which is the best suitable for our particular ad. Okay, next, final proofing of the ad. Okay, so after deciding, say for example, they have decided for this thing, the person is a sales head person, which is a very high profile job. So what we can do is we let us not generalize and we will not give in the newspaper. We can not give in the magazines also, because magazines and newspaper are read by the many general people. It would not reach. If it is for any sales executive post, we would choose on that. I would choose trade publication, where the people from the industry will read. Okay, trade publication. So once I think they have decided, we will advertise in the trade publication. Okay, so after deciding this print media for the advertisement, they have to now finally prove the print media. See, for they have to submit the how many people: operation manager, general managers of the operation, marketing director, communication director. Okay, that advertisement layout which you have decided in the last designing the ad. After that, what we'll do, we have decided which media we have to choose. We have chosen the media. Then the final ad should be taken approval from operational manager, general manager of operational, marketing director, and communication director. So we have to submit them and we have to take the approval. Okay, next, determining the runtime of the ad. In trade publication, so we have to, I have selected trade publication, right? So we have to choose the runtime, means when we can give the advertisement. That should be approved by the finance manager, because he has to pay, right? He has to release the fund from the his department to make that advertisement, to pay the trade publication people, that what is the if it is in the beginning of the month, end of the month, mid of the month, whenever the advertisement is coming, how many frequency, like every day if you're giving the advertisement, weekly once you are repeating the advertisement, what is the frequency of the advertisement? Depending upon that, the cost will be incurred, right? Every day, if you are repeating the advertisement, the cost will be high. Every week, little minimal. A month, only once, it is a less cost maybe. So if you are doing monthly ones, how much page is occupied? Okay, if we are giving every day, means what is the length of the advertisement? According to that, the cost of the advertisement will be decided. So who is going to release that fund? That will be released by the finance department. So for that also we have to take the approval from the finance department. Then we have to take the approval from the general managers of the operational department, that is marketing department, right? Operational department, sorry, sales department. Okay, now we have to give the advertisement pamphlet or advertisement for the printing. If you have your own facility of printing the kind of advertisement, or you are releasing your own trade journal from your organization, then it would be easy and the cost benefit. But if you don't have any don't have any kind of uh, facility in house, then you have to outsource it. Okay, that printing activity you have to outsource it. Okay, so printed material will be after printing that that will return to your department. Then final copy will be distribution to the final one. See, these all are we have to think about the cost here. If we have printed inside our organization, what is the cost? If we are giving to the outsourcing it to the other people, what is the cost involved? Okay, so in marketing department also, after that returning, marketing department has to again approve the final copy. Okay, so this is all about each activity I'm talking about. Okay, for just to give a recruitment ad for a sales department head, see how many stages are involved. So this is the chain of activity, how designing the ad, in that how many stages are there. Okay, then choosing the media, then final proofing the ad, then taking the funds from the finance department, then printing and finally publishing the ad. So this is an example of value analysis, reveals that how cost saving opportunity we can identify here. Okay, so in each stage, why we are this much critically analyzing everything, every activity from every department we are taking, every department head we are taking the approval, because we can see the any chances of cutting the cost. Okay, any opportunity of cost saving, what we are doing by streamlining various activity. So in the first step of this example, what we have done the value analysis, which can be used for cost saving opportunity, right? By streamlining various activity. First step, what we have done, designing there. So it is not necessary to take the permission from the operational head or director or general manager of the operation. So that can be hiring manager. It can be reduced if you have a trusted relationship with your employees. Okay, while it is critical to take the input from hiring manager at the beginning, correct? So without knowing the what are the skills and abilities which a hiring manager is required, it is not we cannot say that we cannot give the ad. Correct. For that, we have to, in the beginning, we have to, if we taken the inputs from the hiring manager, it is not necessary to, every time going and taking the permission. Correct. That is not required. So cost savings can be realized by streamlining the activities, by seeking the inputs, additional inputs. If you have a trust in your organization, means if you know that your managers who are responsible, like for the people who are responsible for creating advertisement, at marketing, operations, and communication, people who are involved in creating that advertisement and publishing this advertisement, you have a trust between your general managers of this department, directors of this department, and the people. You can eliminate those steps. Every time going to see here in these steps and all I have given, every time what they are doing, they are taking the permissions, right? Every time they are taking the permission from the department. See, submit the operational manager, general manager in the final proofing we have seen. And again we have like taking permission again from all those people. So if you trust these people who are in the advertisement creation, like the person from marketing department, the person from operation department, the person from hiring department, the person from communication department, if you have trust and your general managers, director of this particular department have a culture of trust in the organization, then you can eliminate those steps. Okay, what will happen by eliminating those steps? By eliminating those steps, your time will be saved, first of all. Okay, the time saved is cost saved in the organization. Okay, how early you can do the work, which is where you are saving the cost. Okay, so it is not necessary to send every time whatever the changes you make for the approval. Okay, so whatever the measurement is available, you can take it, okay, by generating the positive results. Correct, by generating the positive results. By generating the positive results. Correct. So once the analysis in the value chain happens, what we will do? We will do the two evaluation. We will do primary evaluation and secondary evaluation. Primary evaluation is within the organization. We can say internal. We can say, okay. The external organization evaluation or secondary evaluation. If you do, then the cost saving will become very effective. Okay, so it may external environment means it is a a very vast environment, but which has to be done to minimize your cost. Okay, so so next, the last step is planning. Okay, so in the planning, what we have to do, we have to now assure that whatever the challenges which will be faced will be converted into a competitive strategy. Okay, the challenges will be delivered on the competitive strategies for the organization. Okay, so in all department we have to take the key players, okay, to any activity we are doing. So we have to involve the key players from the all department, where whenever you are making any change in the plan. Now your first, what were your plan in this example which I have given? So you have to follow all the things, correct? So now you are changing it. Let us eliminate, because my manager or my head of the department trust me in my whatever the advertisement I create, that can be finalized without the approval, because because they know that whenever I create an ad for the recruitment, that will be a perfect ad. So we have changed it, right? You have changed in the plan. So that plan which you have changed, you have to make sure that that is giving a competitive advantage, that is becoming a competitive strategy to your organization. Okay, so what are the involvement, which are the people involved in that planning? You have to make sure that there should not be any they should be informed that that these are the changes in the plan. Okay, so we have to we have changed the plan, and we are implementing those changes after informing to the key players. In the last example which I given, the key players were marketing department, operation department, finance department, communication department. So the people who are responsible to create the ad, so those people are should be informed about the changes, and the changes should be implemented. Okay, so that implementation of the responsibility will be based on the talents and skill of that particular team. Okay, then impact of the changes will be again within the value chain. Okay, it is not outside the value chain. Which activity we are doing, point A to point Z, or point 1 to last point. So we have to take care of that changes should made within the value chain. Okay, from activity A of that particular activity, recruitment activity, we were talking about like advertisement. Only about that activity we have to make the changes. We should not make the changes in development activity or retaining activity. Okay, so the changes should be made within the value chain process. Okay, the process will be continuous improvement, definitely. So it should be always taking feedbacks, improvements, Okay, so any changes required, again modifying that. So that will be a continuous improvement we have to always seek for. Okay, so this is about the how value chain analysis will is done. Okay, this is the last slide. Correct. So these are the 4 steps, right? Identifying, strategy, activity analysis, value analysis, and planning. Okay, so this is how the talent management value chain analysis is done. Okay, I hope everybody understood this. Thank you for listening to me.